Imagine waking up to find that the $445 million you invested in the future was actually paying for a room full of people pretending to be a computer. That is not the plot of a cyberpunk novel. It is the reality of what just happened to some of the smartest investors in the world. Microsoft bought it. The Qatar Investment Authority bought it. SoftBank bought it. They all poured hundreds of millions into a company called Builder.ai, believing they had found the holy grail of software development. But when the dust settled in May 2025, the company was bankrupt, the money was gone, and the artificial intelligence they were selling turned out to be hundreds of exhausted engineers hiding behind a curtain. This is the story of how one company faked the AI revolution and walked away with nearly $500 million. To understand the scale of this deception, you have to look at the promise. The pitch was seductive in its simplicity. The founder, a charismatic entrepreneur named Sachin Dev Duggal, told the world that building an app should be as easy as ordering a pizza. You shouldn't need to know code. You shouldn't need to hire expensive developers. You just tell the machine what you want, and the machine builds it. They called this machine Natasha. Natasha was the face of the company's AI. She was the digital architect that would put human coders out of business. If you wanted an Uber clone, you just clicked a button, and Natasha would assemble it for you. It was the perfect story for the AI boom. Everyone wanted to believe that software could be democratized, that the barrier to entry was gone. And because the story was perfect, the money followed. The company, originally called Engineer.ai, started raking in capital. They didn't just get money, they got legitimacy. Microsoft, the giant of the tech world, didn't just invest, they formed a strategic partnership. They integrated Builder.ai into Microsoft Teams. They put their reputation on the line, signaling to the rest of the market that this technology was real. The valuation soared to $1.5 billion. Duggal, the self-proclaimed chief wizard, was living the life of a tech mogul with the yachts and the glamour to match. He was selling the dream that the hard work of coding was over. But inside the company, the reality was chaos. There was no magic machine. There was no super intelligent Natasha writing lines of complex code in milliseconds. According to investigations that later shattered the company, the AI was actually a massive operation of human misery. When a client ordered an app, the request didn't go to a neural network. It went to a human engineer, likely sitting in an office in India or Ukraine, who would frantically manually code the software. It was a digital sweatshop disguised as a supercomputer. This is what's known in the industry as a Wizard of Oz scheme. You put up a big, scary, impressive projection on the screen. But behind the curtain, it's just a guy pulling levers. The cracks started to show as early as 2019, when the Wall Street Journal published a report questioning the technology. They interviewed employees who said they were explicitly told to fake it. They were building the bridge to AI, they said. They claimed the humans were just training the machine. But years passed, and the machine never seemed to learn. The humans weren't training the AI, they were the AI. Yet, amazingly, the company survived that early scandal. They rebranded from Engineer.ai to Builder.ai. They kept raising money, they kept signing up partners, they rode the wave of the 2023 and 2024 AI hype cycle, where investors were so desperate not to miss the next ChatGPT that they stopped asking the hard questions. But you can only burn cash for so long when your product is a lie. By late 2024, the financial gymnastics required to keep the illusion alive became criminal. The company was reporting revenue of $220 million. It looked like a rocket ship. But when the forensic accountants finally got a look at the books, the real number was closer to 50 million. They had inflated their revenue by over 300%. How do you fake that much money? Allegedly, through a practice called round tripping. This is where Company A pays Company B for a vague service, and Company B pays Company A back for another vague service. No real value is created, but on the balance sheet, it looks like massive growth. It's a game of hot potato with empty invoices. The collapse, when it finally came in May 2025, was brutal and swift. One day, Builder.ai was a unicorn backed by royalty and tech giants. The next day, it was insolvent. Lenders moved in and seized $37 million from the company accounts, leaving them with almost zero cash to operate. The new CEO, who had stepped in to try and save the sinking ship, had to tell the staff that the game was over. They couldn't pay Amazon for their servers. They couldn't pay their staff. The company that promised to build the future couldn't even pay its electric bill. The fallout was catastrophic for everyone involved, except, perhaps, for the people who got out early. Employees who had believed in the mission were left jobless. Clients who had built their businesses on Builder.ai's platform watched their apps crash and burn because the AI was no longer there to fix the bugs. Microsoft and the Qatar Investment Authority had to write off millions. It was a humiliation. It showed that even the most sophisticated due diligence teams could be blinded by the glare of a charismatic founder and the fear of missing out on the next big thing. But the Builder.ai scandal isn't just a story about financial fraud. It is a mirror held up to the entire tech industry. We are living in a moment where AI is a magic word that opens checkbooks. Startups are incentivized to fake it until they make it. They promise automation while hiring cheap labor to do the work, hoping that one day the technology will catch up to the lie. Builder.ai just took it further than anyone else. They didn't just exaggerate. They built a $1.5 billion castle on a foundation of pure air. The tragedy is that the premise wasn't wrong. The world does need easier ways to build software, but Builder.ai proved that you cannot shortcut innovation. You cannot replace engineering with marketing, and you certainly cannot replace the hard truth with a soft lie. As lawsuits fly and investigators circle the wreckage, the legacy of the $445 million fake serves as a warning. If a technology feels like magic, look for the curtain, because usually, there is just a person standing behind it, hoping you never look down.